No be small wahala wey fit don dey ground like dis o my correct pipu. Dis increment wey the National Assembly come join put for ways and means e fit turn to something else. You know say our country Nigeria no dey carry eye see where dey fit borrow money. As I'm talking to you right now my good pipu, the Central Bank of Nigeria dey fit print or dey fit wire over 746 billion naira as loan to the federal government based on the ways and means provision of the CBN Act. Now I know say many of my country people no understand wetin I dey try talk, so make I elaborate, make I break am down. For inside this CBN Act so, the funds like the money wey the Apex Bank wey be CBN fit provide give the federal government through ways and means na 5% of the federal government their last year revenue. Now inside last week, the National Assembly don raise the maximum borrowing percentage for inside this act from 5% to 10%. And the National Bureau of Statistics na on Saturday they come drop their data. They don finally finish with their analysis and they come drop their own information about the matter. And according to the data wey the NBS then drop so, e dey indicate say as of the third quarter of 2023, after plus and minus, the federal government their revenue na 7.46 trillion naira, and 5% of that money go be 3.73 billion naira. But based on the increments now we don dey for ways and means funding wey dey approved by the National Assembly, the federal government go get no less than 746 billion naira from the Apex Bank wey be CBN through the funding scheme. So no be small matter like this o my good people. You know say the ways and means advances na loan facilities wey the CBN dey use to take finance the government when the federal government don dey get temporary budget issues and some kind levels like that. And according to section 38 of the CBN Act 2007, the Apex Bank wey be CBN is allowed to grant temporary advances like loan to the federal government with regard to temporary deficiency of budget revenue. That is if the budget money no reach or one thing come sup, you understand? And the total amount of those kind advances e no go pass 5% of the revenue wey the federal government dey make for inside the previous year. Now the maximum borrowing percentage now for inside the act don increase from 5% to 10% by lawmakers inside last week. Then for inside the red chamber wey be the Senate, the increment on top the ways and means funding dey achieve am through the consideration and passage of one bill wey dey sponsored by their leader wey be Senator Bamidele of APC Ekiti Central. And for inside in lead debate, Senator Bamidele come dey explain say this bill now e dey seek to amend the CBN Act to increase the total CBN advances, total CBN funding to the federal government. And he say this bill so e dey aim to help the government meet their immediate and future obligations based on say need for funds just dey arise every day by day. Things to do with funds just dey arise, like to finance budget and other expenses. Oga Bamidele dey let the general public dey know say the Central Bank of Nigeria their advances, that is to say the loan, the fund wey dem go dey give the federal government, na to help the government meet their financial obligations. And all these advances so wey dey come from the CBN are just short term something the federal government is expected to pay back. Oga Bamidele come still dey explain for a lead debate say why dem drop request now to increase the ways and means from 5% to 15% of the previous year revenue na sake of say make the thing for help dey finance essential government expenditures, make the thing for help dey maintain financial market stability, make the thing help inject money into the economy and making support critical sectors like agricultural sector, healthcare sector and infrastructure development. And e go still help to take address budget shortfalls, that is in case budget money no reach. And e consider yarn say the increment on top ways and means e go still help to lower government their borrowing cost compared to traditional borrowing method. Now during this debate, my good people, many senators then support the amendment, but they argue say 15% is too much, they're supposed to reduce them to 10%. And all of us know the federal government say they get one bad character. Them and loan no supposed to for inside one room. They don't to abuse these ways and means. They don't to take advantage of the ways and means. And a good example of what they yarn you about now the administration of the former president, maybe Muhammadu Buhari. This man then criticized in administration which is no good. Say into abuse the ways and means, into collect money from there no be small. From 2014 to 2023, the federal government don't collect 30 trillion naira through ways and means from the CBN without National Assembly their appropriation. Just imagine that kind of level. So now based on this one now, the Senate can set up an ad hoc committee which they led by Senator Issa Jibrin from APC Kogi East, making carry out investigations. Then speaking on the developments, financial analyst Konde Yanu say the Central Bank of Nigeria will be CBN, they go come gas to go print more cash to meet the demands for increased funds through the ways and means advances. And if they print more cash like that, if it increase the inflation wey country people dey face for inside the country Nigeria. Even one economist wey name na Paul Alaje, he himself come dey express im concern sake of the increment wey dem don plaster on top ways and means advances to the federal government from 5% to 10%. He say dis development now go make the Central Bank of Nigeria, they go come dey under pressure. They go wan like to print more money, and printing more money will affect the economy of a country. Another economist sef come dey express im own concern about the matter. He say this one now, e go come increase the money supply, and increase in money supply equals inflation. And my good people, I go like remind you, say the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of Economy, wey be Wale Edun, him be yarn before, say 22.7 trillion naira wey the CBN dem print through ways and means overdraft for the federal government from 2015 to 2023 under former President Muhammadu Buhari. Now he carry our country Nigeria put for the current inflation gbese wey e dey so. And that, my good people, now what I thought say Ozeba fit dey for inside the country Nigeria, because the federal government they need to carry eye see where they fit carry loan from. The Central Bank of Nigeria now, e get as e be. One day if you reach now, they go print or they go wire over 746 billion naira as loan to the federal government based on the ways and means provision of the CBN Act. And if the federal government now come borrow that kind of money plus the outstanding wey they possibly owe World Bank, maybe na that time wey everywhere go come stew for inside the country Nigeria. That time wey everywhere go come nice, you understand? If water pass garri, we go add more garri, you get? So this, my good people, now the informate way as make a share give all of una. Anyhow the thing be for body, feel free make a drop am inside our comment section. Now we be Anointed Lady TV. Now we dey give the legit information on the things and things wey dey happen for inside our nation Nigeria. So if you go like to receive legit news, you are free to subscribe to the channel and remember to put on the notification bell so that as we dey bring the news they come, like you first receive the updates and you go get them sharp. I will bring another interesting information for you, my good people. I beg, no go anywhere.